Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To Dr. Siti Khadijah binti Hubaidillah. My name is Afif Aidiel bin Abdul Ghafar and my matrix number is 271759. Today, for this video, I will present related individual assignment 1 for the subject BJTC2023 Construction Technology about the process that involved in construction technology. Next, there are 5 content that will be presented in this video. Firstly, project life cycle. Second, activities involved during construction project. Third, key players. Fourth, project planning and controlling. And the last one is a successful construction. First scale, related to the construction life cycle, there are 5 processes in the project life cycle, namely initiation, planning, implementation, performance, and monitoring, and the last one, closing. The first scale related to initiation. What is initiation? Project initiation begins the project life cycle and involves the installation of a team led by a project manager and providing an overview of the project. The overview usually includes determining the reason for the project, business goal, and strategies to achieve the desired outcome. Initial scope, proposed budget, achievement, and completion date are given. This phase typically involves a senior manager creating a business case for the project based on a feasibility study and developing a project chart that define the vision, scope, expectation, and implementation plan of the project. Next is about planning process. Planning required recording all tasks required to complete the project and providing a realistic task completion date. The planning phase often involves creating a project management plan to guide the team. The plan also provides detail of the skill required, risk assessment, non-labor resource, and for each task. In addition, it is also to identify stakeholder and define the criteria required to successfully complete each task. The third related to implementation and execution. During the implementation phase, plan solution implementation to meet the need of the project. The project team and the necessary resource and gathered and used to produce the desired and project output. This is an interactive phase that involves problem solving, testing, review to meet specific product need. The project manager oversees proper resource allocation to ensure project schedules. He also maintains communication with internal and external stakeholders. Fourth, about performance and monitoring. The control phase is involved testing and monitoring the project to ensure that the work performance complies with that plan and meet stakeholder expectation. The objective is for the acceptance of the project from the client. Project results are constantly monitored, and if there are deviation or customer request for a certain change, data will given back to the implementation process until corrective action is taken. This phase is complete when the final output of the project approved by the customer because it has meet the quality standard applied in the plant. And the last one about closing. The closing phase usually involves documenting the project of a process, which begin when the result are released by the contractor and formally received by the customer. All relevant materials are submitted, including project documentation, manuals, and source code. All contract administration documents are complete, marked with a signed contract acceptance document. A formal project review report that identify and evaluate the level of project success, as well as a critical review of the lesson learned is also provided to the client. Next, activities involved during construction project. There are 11 activities involved during construction technology, namely marking and grading, excavation, concreting, carpentry, brick masonry, plumbing, welding, electrical, roof laying, glazing, and finishing. 1. Marking and grading. Marking is one of the first activities that involve marking plot area for reference. This helps workers to always be able to orient themselves in terms of their workplace. 2. Excavation. This is a fairly broad term as there is some construction activity in the excavation. Generally, this term involves the movement of earth or rock out of a particular area to prepare for construction. This also includes excavation of that rock and soil. 3. Concreting. The process of pouring concrete is one of the main activities in a construction. It is often used for building base, road, bridge, papers, and many other applications. Now, number 4. Carpentry. One of the first activities that come to the mind of many people when doing the so-called construction is carpentry. These are the cutting and heating materials in general that will be used for the construction of building structures. 5. Brick masonry. Brick have been used in construction for this decades and are still used to this day as one of the very strong materials. This bricklayer put them in to make sure that they were laid in a structure and durable way. 6 is plumbing. In structure that required plumbing, there are specific plumbing activities that must occur to ensure they will function properly. This includes putting in piping and fixtures for both incoming potable water and outwards. 7. Welding. The activity of bonding two metals together using heat is classification. This important action in construction is used to bind metals mainly for structural purpose. There are many different types of classification that can be used for different types of metals and different conditions. 8. Electrical. Individuals working as electricians on construction product are responsible for ensuring that each structure will eventually have full access to electricity from transformers provided by the electrical company. There are several steps that go into the installation of electric in a build, including temporary and so on. And now, number 9, roof laying. Roofing is an important construction activity for ensuring the protection of a structure from the elements and can help provide stability for the structure. There are different methods used for roofing. Number 10. Glazing. This activity is basically anything to do with glass windows and door in a construction project. The term is used broadly to reference the installation of pretty much any glass involved in the construction of a particular structure. And the last one is finishing. Finishing is construction means putting on the final touch of a structure in order to prepare it to be used. This includes but is not limited to activities like glazing, flooring, painting, wallpapering, and plastering. It's most often about final aesthetic touch and slightly less about safety and function. Although all finishing activities are a crucial but a final construction product. Now, the next content is key players. First, owner. Owner is also called client. Owner is the person who actually arrange money for particular project. Owner is a real estate who has to launch Aidiel. Owner may be a person or government. He provides funds. He is a founding agency for the project. Scope definition is also provided by the owner. And then number 2 is construction manager. Construction manager is the person who actually coordinates the construction process in behalf of the owner. Construction manager is not common in some countries. Usually, in other countries, client assign construction work to a CM who deals and manage all the things related to construction. And number 3, general construction. General construction is the person who actually execute the contract. He actually negotiate the contract with client. He is the key person who is responsible to change dream of owner into physical shape. Contractor is assigned the who on the whole job. He need direction from engineer and client. Next, Q&S engineer. Construction engineering is a professional discipline that deals with the designing, planning, construction and management of infrastructure such as road, tunnel, bridge, airport, railroad facility, building, dam, utilities, and other projects. 5. M&E engineer. M&E in construction refers to mechanical and electrical system. The term M&E or M&E engineer are often taken to be interchangeable with building service or service engineer. Lastly, QS, quality surveyor, are responsible for managing all aspects of the contractual and financial side of construction projects. Quantity surveyors manage the cost on a construction project. Furthermore, related to project planning and controlling. Project planning. Define the work task of each entity involved in the project. Illustrate the relationship between different work tasks and the individual entities that are performing those tasks. Makes decision about which technology will be used to bring about the successful completion of the project. Provide a comprehensive assessment of all resources required to complete a project. Use the plan to arrive at a timeline and budget for the project. Next is about project controlling. Project management is one of the effective purpose to ensure that the time and cost of the project can be properly. This phase is carried out during the implementation of the project made. The difference between performance and actually performance will be reviewed as best as possible when the project commences. Next, project management is done to determine deviation from the policy plan, to determine the exact effect of this deviation on the plan, or to perform addition and to compensate for such storage. To control, the following steps are followed. Start and target are set and target in general are also disclosed over time. Performance is measured based on the standards set in the first step. Storage from the standard is identified. Now, the last content is related to successful construction. Careful contracting. Aside from the construction work itself, the contract is the most important part of the project. In the case of a well-written contract, the written term carefully and clearly define the parties' agreement, their expectation, and their respective risks and obligation. Next is independent cost estimate. Another way to ensure a successful project is to limit budget overrun by obtaining independent cost estimate as the design progresses. This involves checking and double checking the cost estimate for the work with contractor and supplier who actually perform the type of work or supply the type of product being specified, and opposed to leaving this task to the design team. Third, establish a firm budget. Why every project has a budget? Some budget are firmer than others. To reduce the risk of overrun, an owner should establish a firm budget and direct the architect and engineer to design to that budget. The owner should clearly establish the budget from the start and hold the designer to that budget. Next, peer review the design. An incomplete, inaccurate, or poorly coordinated design will produce a project with conflict, anticipate cost, delays, and claims. Nothing diminishes the risk of conflict and provides protection for the owner more than an accurate and complete design. And the last, review the plan. For constructability. Constructability describes the ease and efficiency with which structures can be built. The constructability of a building depends largely on the quality of the design. If the design document contains errors or difficult to interpret, the project will be more difficult to build. A constructability review is used to identify obstacles before construction. That's all from me. Thank you.